Hey, welcome everybody. This is the Differential Podcast. My name is JP, and I have my co-host with me, AB. How's it going, AB?
Hey, what it do, baby?
Fun guy. Got a
Fun
quiet
guy.
ended up in here, eh? Well, speaking of fun, or rather not having fun, let's talk about the Ashes test number two. And our favorite team over there from England didn't do too quite well there.
Oh, mate. I'll be honest. I did not even bother watching day five. I barely watched day four. It was comprehensive to say the least.
Yeah, I
Is this
tried.
is this is this the worst England team to come to Australia since the Mitchell Johnson Ashes? You think?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, competing for that crown.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have no words. I tried to watch the
Hmm.
last innings for England, and they just look awful. At no point did I think they could even muster up an effort to draw this match. It
Yeah.
was abysmal.
And this is supposed to be the game which England had the most chance of drawing or winning. So some people were suggesting because it's pink ball and James Anderson, could do well under day-night conditions.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I
So,
don't know if I could agree with that because Australia has a great record
mm,
with the pink ball.
yeah,
I think they have the best record with the pink ball. Might be because they play with pink ball the most often.
mm,
But I do see why people were saying, nonetheless, that England had a better chance here because Australia's talisman Pat Cummins didn't play
yeah,
because
captain.
yeah, captain and talisman did not play, and due to COVID, if you've been living under a rock over there, he was exposed, and due to Australia's rules, whatever they are, um, he was not able to play. So
Well, he was exposed the evening prior.
yeah, it was really
So
weird. Yeah.
yeah, it was big news because I think I think a couple of days after the first test ended, they said Josh Hazelwood wouldn't play the second test match, and you and I, we immediately were like, okay, that's pretty big. Like England actually
Yeah.
might have half a chance here because I think Pat Cummins is definitely a talisman, but his partner in crime is definitely Josh Hazelwood, and yeah, man, Josh, you know, love him, hate him. He's a fantastic red ball cricketer. Eh? He's a good
Yeah.
bowler, gets wickets, keeps it tight. Um, yeah, and so we have two of the linchpins of the Aussie new guard out of the game, and now you kind of only have one and a half because it's just Marnus at this point. Mitch Stark isn't firing. Steve Smith hasn't shown us the full range yet.
Yeah,
And
Steve Smith didn't even play that well this match, I think.
I mean,
Well,
Davy
okay,
Warner's
actually
playing
never
well.
mind. Actually,
Hmm.
never mind. Take it back. Steve Smith did score 93 in the first
No, no,
inning.
no. He's getting to his former best, I would say. I don't think he's up there. But yeah, a lot of moving parts before the game, mate. A lot of moving parts before the game. I was hopeful England might have a chance day one, and it
Yeah.
started pretty well.
Well, yeah, they got Marcus Harris early, right?
Yep,
Yeah, he hasn't done much. Although I think he did a bit better in the second innings, I believe.
I
He
think got
scored
like 18 or
23.
something.
23. Okay, so
Yeah,
not too good, but
I mean, let's talk about the Marcus Harris wicket. Hmm? The
yeah, yeah. Wow, what a crazy catch! Like, wow, I was out of my seat. I was dancing around. Basically, one of the
it's
best
a screamer,
wicket
mate.
keeper catches that I've ever seen.
Yeah, full
He's like
length. Yeah,
he's parallel to the ground.
yeah.
He's flying like Superman style, and amazing catch. I don't have enough words to describe it.
Mate, that's what I call a quarter chance. And at that point in the first half an hour of the test match, I'm thinking, here we go. They've brought Broad back. They've brought Anderson back. they should be good. Australian response, they've got Michael Nieser and Richardson. I'm not sure if they're both capable of bolstering up a test bowling lineup on debut, but yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the high point of the day, in my opinion.
That catch was the high point of the day, and then we'll get into, yeah, let's put that as a topic to discuss the whole ups and downs of Josh Butler, because that there were major ups and downs, peaks and valleys. But yeah, let's talk about the, going back to squad selection. So they brought back, England brought back, their two best bowlers basically, Broad and Anderson. And generally, I don't know if Anderson did that well. He did okay. I don't think he had too much of an impact. He was, he was economical, standard stuff that you expect from Anderson, but he didn't take too many wickets. I thought Stuart Broad was a bit better, even though he only took one wicket in the first innings. What was your thought there?
I thought Broad was a little bit better than James Anderson. To be honest, somehow the pitch managed to work for Stuart Broad. I thought he was a great foil for Ollie Robinson, who bowled well in the first test. Did slightly better in the second one, but I thought like it was basically Broad, and then half of the load was carried by Robinson and the other half by Anderson. So they kind of just had three bowlers, because Chris Wokes didn't make an impact with the ball for me, not as much as
he was very disappointing.
Yeah, because now this is something I wanted to bring up. England didn't pick a spinner for this game. Now, you find that odd given the treatment Jack Leach got from the Aussies, the shine he was given by the Aussies, and particularly Marnus and Steve Smith. Oh no, Marnus and I think Davey Warner.
Yeah, Davey Warner was really went after him, took a liking to him.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you find that weird tactics on England's part to play just 4 quicks on that surface because of the pink ball?
See, in England is always they're always in a pickle when they come to their spinners, right? Because it's not a spin-friendly country, so they haven't really been able to develop really any good spinners since
Graham Swan.
Graham Swan, right? You could say maybe they've had one or two here or there, but I just don't think they've been world class.
Right.
So when you really need them, they're not fully developed. They kind of struggle when it comes to facing good, batters who really know how to play spin, which is the case, which is what happened with Leach. He was totally outclassed. He didn't look like he belonged. So I get the sense that they're coming from, where they're like, we can't put this guy back out there. He's just going to get walloped. But to not play a spinner in your test squad, at least one, you just need that one person to be able to put out, that frequency of overs to really get through the over rate, to give your fast bowlers that rest that they need, especially in the really, really hot conditions that they had at Adelaide. A spinner would have been really useful. And I don't think Joe Root is, competent enough as a spinner in terms of being able to put out the volume that you need from a top line spinner. So I think they definitely missed a good spinner. But I understand why they didn't, because what were their options? Leach again, or who's the other guy that they have?
Dom Bess.
Yeah,
he's too wayward. Apparently, can't play him. Moeen Ali's not a Test cricketer anymore, so they can't call on him. You know what? Like we're not we're not sold on Moeen Ali's abilities as a red ball cricketer. Maybe in white ball he fares a lot better because the shorter format suits his skill set. But as a red ball cricketer, I know you and I are very critical sometimes of his abilities and his inclusion in the squad. But I still feel like that could have been a direction, if he was available, that they could have gone with.
Yeah. So my problem is he's not accurate enough. He's not consistent and accurate enough. He can really, really be inconsistent, put it, place it short. that really opens it up for the batsman. And you want to maintain pressure as a spinner.
Yeah, he's such a weird bowler, mate. Like he's inaccurate. He can be short sometimes, but then far too often as well. Like more than once in a blue moon, he does produce some amazing, rippers that go through,
He can
world
get the
class
ball to
batsmen.
spin.
Like
Yeah.
crikey, there was this one time he got up, between Virat Kohli's bat and pad with this like world class off spinning delivery. I remember you and I absolutely shocked. We're like, who are you and what have you done with the real Moeen Ali? Because he was, I think maybe that was in India, that wicket we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
see two molds of a spinner, right? Either you be somebody who can go for runs, but is very, very good at, who's a wicket taker.
yeah,
Like they'll get walloped, but they're going to take a lot of wickets. Or you're the other mold where you're just consistent. You don't let any runs through. You're very tight, but you might not get as many wickets. I mean, you might not spin it as much. I think the
yeah,
wicket takers really, really know how to spin it and make the ball, dance essentially.
yeah. It's interesting, mate, because like we're talking about Leach, Bess, and to an extent Moeen Ali not being consistent and accurate enough. And Australia actually have the exact opposite of that. They've got a
Mm-hmm.
guy who doesn't come across as a world beater in terms of spin, but he's just so accurate. He just lands the ball in that zone, ball after ball after ball. And he does get the ball to sometimes spin big time, but it's not often.
Yeah.
Like he gets some movement. It's not a Ravi Jadeja situation where more often than not the ball just goes straight and they can't play it. But he actually gets turned. Sometimes he just gets more turned. And he's
Yeah.
just the opposite of the England spinning problems. And I just want to take a moment and just call out this the story that I heard a while back. So it's about the county ground at Taunton. I'm not sure. I think it's Somerset that plays at Taunton. Taunton were docked points from the county championship for producing a subpar wicket, I believe in 2020 or 21 early, or somewhere this summer. And Taunton's apparently the biggest spinning wicket in England. And Jack Leach and I think even Dom Bez they both play for Somerset. So they're both trained and graduates of Somerset Academy, and they're in the England squad as Premier Strike bowlers. And I think it's one of, if not the most spinning ground in terms of county cricket in England. And they were docked points for a spinning wicket. So they said, oh, because the ball spun so much, the spinners got like crazy amount of wickets, we're going to dock you points for producing a subpar pitch, which sometimes we see happening with South Asian venues, Sri Lanka, India, and the like. And you wonder why England doesn't produce spin bowlers. I think that might have something to do with it, because I wouldn't really call Taunton a spin venue in England. Like, I really don't see it turning sideways, but apparently it's the venue that it turns the most, if not the most, in England. Or amongst the top two or three. I can't remember what the stats are, but
Yeah.
it's an own goal.
Yeah. I mean, you want to, if you're trying to create the perfect test team, right? Like if I'm trying to create the perfect test team, I want to have, given the average set of conditions, we're not playing on a really highly spinning track, or like a track that's totally green, like looks like the outfield. Like your average track that has a bit of everything for each type of bowler. I'd ideally want 3 pacers, and have a bit of variety in my pacers, right?
Yep.
And then I want one good spinner, right? Today, England can't produce that perfect bowling attack because they haven't, been able to develop a really good spinner. They got lucky with Graham Swan. He came out of the blue, despite them not really promoting spinners. So you'll get lucky from time to time, but unless you have a concerted effort at the lower levels when you're younger, to produce spinners, and this goes for any type of thing you want to do in sports, right? You have to kind of lay the foundations from an early age, and you gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta allow things to happen and not, make it harder, which is what
Yeah.
they've done. So basically, you reap what you sow.
Yeah, mate. And it's just I can't remember the last time Australia played any test match without, a spinner. Like sometimes they haven't had Lion. They've picked the next best thing going for them, but they they promote that culture. Like, you remember a few years ago, I think it might have been again visiting Aussie team going to India, and I saw a little snippet on Cricket Australia's YouTube page where they were importing in these like synthetic wickets to emulate subcontinental conditions, so it would encourage lion, and I think it was Stephen O'Keefe, and maybe I don't think Xavier Doherty were still there, but yeah, they have these, you know creative ideas to, in case Lion doesn't play, because I remember Stephen O'Keefe ended up playing a couple of the matches and he got like a five for more for, I can't remember, but you know England, like, they're not the West Indies of the 70s to just go into a test match abroad with four quicks. And I mean, like, they're good. Robinson, Broad, Anderson, they're half
Yeah,
decent, but Wokes, Ben Stokes, Joe Root, and David Milan. I don't think that's the lineup you'd go with without a spinner. Like, you want a spinner in there, like a full-time spinner, not a part-time.
okay. Let me just give you first of all, let's not even compare the
Yeah.
Windies with this England team. I think we're doing a great disservice to that Windies team there.
No.
Um,
Just, yeah, you're right.
I wouldn't even put them in the same ballpark. But let me just give you an idea of like how valuable a spinner is. I'm just looking at the bowling
Mhm.
statistics from this match, and take a wild guess how many overs Nathan Lyon bowled for Australia.
What in total?
Let's go with the first innings. How many do you think he bowled?
Well, how many overs? Give us a clue to how many overs were played total in the first innings.
Is that listed? Not really listed, but okay. I mean, like, I'll just say,
84.1. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, England's first innings finished at 84.1 overs. Okay.
okay, yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
how many would Lion have bowled? I want to say 25, maybe 20.
Yeah, so he bowled 28,
Okay.
right?
Wow.
And so that's a lot of overs.
Yeah.
And like Mitchell Starc bowled 16, Richardson bowled 19, Cameron Green 10, Nieser 11.
Okay.
So he's like doubling what, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
And then it gets even more lopsided in the next innings. Nathan Lyon bowled 39 overs for Australia, right?
Yeah, that's almost, yeah, 1 day game there.
Right. So and he did it at an economy rate of 1.41.
And like, what's the ratio to the other bowlers? Like, in comparison, did anybody come close to his?
Stark was the next second most overs at 27, right?
Okay.
So which is a lot for Stark actually, because the next one is Richardson at 19.1.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why you want a spinner. You can just, he's like a machine, like a bowling machine. You can just pump out overs.
Yeah, the
It
quick
helps you with the
overs. Yeah.
over rate.
Yeah.
It lets you block off one end,
Yeah.
and really more importantly, also it keeps your quicks fresh, right?
Yeah.
You're not burning out your quicks, which is managing your quicks in a test match. People don't appreciate. Well, as a captain, that's very important, right?
Yeah.
If your quicks get burnt out in a test match, you're kind of done, because you got to take those 20 wickets, and your quicks are the ones that are most likely to do it, especially in
Yeah.
a country like Australia,
Yeah.
right? So
But it's interesting to me that Mitchell Stark bowled the next highest amount of overs and not the new boys, or at least one of them sharing the load. Because like, how many did Richardson and Nieser bowl then compared to Stark? Like
19.1 for Richardson in the second innings, and Nieser
Okay.
bowled 13.
Yeah, that's like almost half of Stark's workload for the second innings then, right? 13 and you said 19?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You agree with those tactics? You think those are aggressive match-winning tactics to just get your best bowler, your best quick on, and intermittently replace him with like part-timers like Lyon and maybe Cameron Green and I don't know who
Well,
else they have.
I don't know if you can call Lyon a part-timer though.
No. I mean, like, Nathan Lyon and a part timer is what I mean.
Wait, so I don't really understand the question. Are you saying they
Like, do you
overbowled
think,
to Stark?
yeah. Do you
I
think they
see.
overbowled him or do you think they just went for the kill here?
Maybe. Again, we didn't really watch the second innings, if we're being honest, right? Like I said, I don't know what the maybe they were just.
100%.
I mean, we watched a little bit of it, but like it was painful to watch, and I can only take so much torture.
Because like Mitchell Stark wasn't 100% fit, and then you've lost the two workhorses. So I would imagine they would kind of want to keep Stark a little bit fresh, or is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think what was happening was Stark. It seemed like Butler was pretty. He was very uncertain against Stark.
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like they wanted to just go for the kill. So
Yeah.
maybe they ended up overbowling him, possibly.
Yeah.
But seems like resting their quicks isn't really hurting them, so that he might get rested in the next match.
Yeah, I mean, like, what a luxury to have, isn't it? Like, oh yeah, just Mitch Stark doesn't play the next game, bring back Josh and fucking Pat Cummins, and have one of the new guys. I was actually really impressed with the amount of seam movement Michael Nieser was getting, mate. Like, it didn't look like it was his first game, was it? He bowled beautifully.
No, and it did not look like this was his debut game.
Yeah,
Shades pretty
of
impressive.
kind of now this is just after watching his first test match, but his ambling kind of like Mr. Everyday guy run up and the bowling unremarkable bowling action kind of brought back some memories of Ryan Harris for me.
Yeah, I can see a bit of Ryan Harris there. Although I'm not like he kind of looks like him. I'll wait to judge him because Ryan Harris was pretty good, like very accurate
Ryan
bowler.
Harris is very underrated bowler, mate. Like he didn't play for that many years, but he was gone. He was a great like addition to that excellent bowling lineup they had in the Mick Johnson Ashes.
Yeah,
he was just as lethal as Johnson, I'd say. Fantastic stuff from him.
Yeah, just in a different way.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's let's talk about Marnus here because it seems like he's their main. Like he played well in the first innings. He got a century, and let me see what he did in the second innings. He got a 50. It doesn't seem like they've unlocked this puzzle that is Marnus, England. What do you think? Like, what do you think England can do better here to get him out?
I think you need Jofra Archer to kind of put Marnus back in his place because he's becoming a bit of a pest for most teams now. Like with the constant like volume of runs he keeps getting against them, and he gets stuck in, mate. Like a lot of the time, he never throws his wicket away cheaply. And to top that, then he's got his little quirks and traits that are just. Sometimes you're just, as an opposition captain, I cannot imagine, you're tired in the field, 6 hours, 8 hours of bowling, and this guy is like self-congratulating, pretty much like every ball that he plays. It's kind of like you hate to go up against those kinds of players.
Yeah,
it just doesn't stop. He's just, how many coffees you had?
I don't know. Like he is not only annoying to the opposition. I find him annoying as hell too, if I'm being honest. Like he's got some quirks. Let's just say that. But no, I gotta respect it. It works. It's working for him. So why not continue? Mm-hmm. Right? What he like his strategy? Well, let me ask you about this because we tend to think that. Okay, you want to keep the scoreboard ticking. You don't want to let that scoreboard pressure build up.
Mhm.
You want to rotate strike, but he doesn't take that tactic. He's taking the opposite tactic. He's like, you got to force me to play the ball, or I'll leave all day long,
Yeah.
and I'll just sit there and just keep on going. So he's very different than a lot of batsmen. And I think during the match, the commentators mentioned this. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay if he doesn't feel bad on ball, because that's how a lot of batsmen get confidence when they're batting. But he
Mhm.
doesn't seem to need that, which is a pretty good skill to have, and not a lot of players have that.
Yeah, I think of all the batsmen we've watched, he has probably the most opposite approach. Everybody wants to feel bat on ball first. He does block the first few, but then he's just content to leave the good deliveries alone, even if it's a half good delivery. I saw him. There were just so many leaves made in the first
Well, I
innings.
don't even think he was blocking the first few. As far as I remember, from ball one, he was leaving, and he was happy to leave, and practice. Then maybe that's why he has so many different types of leaves. He's like, let me make this interesting for myself.
Mate, I think yeah, that definitely has something to do with it. I bet you it's something he's massively talked to Steve Smith about it, probably, about judging leaves and stuff, because the way he leaves is very Steve Smith. But I also think that's a part of his game that he's worked on and developed a lot since we last saw the Aussies play a test match, because he looks absolutely dead certain of where his off stump is, and he trusts the home advantage. So he knows this ground or this pitch is offering this kind of bounce and it's seaming back. His judgment has been amazing, and that's the reason why he's scoring so many runs. And it's just as simple as knowing where your off stump is and trusting the pitch, like doing your homework on conditions, which as a home team you
Yeah,
shouldn't have problems with that.
and,
But
and England helped them too, right, with their bowling length. So they were
yeah,
bowling, not
I really
bowling.
wanted to talk about that in the first innings, like the
Yeah, let's get
lengths
into
England
that.
bowled. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to set it up, if you were watching the match, the first innings, and the commentators mentioned this, they went on and on about it. Is that England is bowling too short. They weren't pitching it up enough, which allowed the batsman to you're not enticing the batsman to come into entice a drive, um, and subsequently leading to an edge happening. And B, you're allowing people like Marnus to just leave the ball on length, and the ball just would bounce over the wickets. And even if it was on line going to hit the off stump or hit the stumps, on length, there's true bounce in these pitches, the consistent true bounce, such that they can just leave it and it's always going to bounce above the wickets. So the England bowlers never adjusted. Well, I think they did a bit in the second innings at the start,
Yeah.
but in the first innings,
Definitely.
they just took too long to adjust, and they kept on bowling it a bit too short, and in the end, it cost them.
What was it, mate? Ben Stokes, like 80% of his deliveries were short balls,
Yeah, that was the
something
tactic that
ridiculous.
they
Like,
were trying. Yeah.
yeah,
And then why Ben Stokes? See, this is another thing where we can go back to their selection, because there was talk about, okay, why isn't Mark Wood playing? He should be playing the enforcer role. He's the one that has a really true pace. He might be the fastest bowler
yeah,
on either side, right? Because I think he can get up to
yeah,
150. So why not
yeah.
have him in there instead of, who could have they taken out? I guess I could have taken out Ollie Robinson and put Mark Wood in there.
Yeah, I honestly, it's so tough, mate. I would
Or
have
Chris
actually
Wokes.
Chris
Actually, I would take Chris
Wokes.
Wokes out.
Yeah, I'd keep Mark Wood and take out Chris Wokes, because it's just, I don't know, mate. It's set up for swing, right? It's pink ball. You want that. You want that express pace, and I just, I obviously I like having a spinner in my test match squad if I'm making a team, but I also want a raging quick, somebody who's kind of scares the batsman a little bit. For me, mate, like Mark Wood, I think I've said this before. He's just a bit too nice. Like, he needs to get a little, you know,
Yeah.
somebody needs to shave the rest of his beard into a handlebar mustache.
Yeah, no, that's what's missing. I mean, look at what's his name?
Travis
Travis
Head.
Head. Yeah, he's like a different person basically at this point. Um,
Yep.
yeah,
Getting
Mark Wood
way
is.
wrinkly again.
I mean, I got my issues with Mark Wood, and
Yeah.
what I expect from like a raging quick, as you said.
Yeah.
But I think I still would prefer him to Wokes because it brings that variety to your attack, right? You get to try different things. You throw different things at the batsman. Whereas the current England team in this match is all pretty much the same. The batsman can really get used to it.
Because I'm not sure why I would use Ben Stokes as my in that enforcer role, because he's kind of just coming back from injury himself. You don't want to overuse your like one hope of getting anything out of this series, mate. Like if there was no Ben Stokes in this Ashes series, nobody would have watched it because it would be an absolute like foregone conclusion.
I guess it wouldn't have been.
I don't know about you, but I mean, I only got interested, and I was really happy to hear he's back because he's had a tough 2021, finger breaks and injuries and mental health issues to cope with, and just very happy to see him back, mate. Like I remember last Ashes when he was last Ashes he played, he gave us one for the ages. It's good to see good players involved.
Of course, I love to watch Ben Stokes play. He's amazing.
You love to watch the Aussies take a loss for once.
That would be nice to see, England. Give us something different, man.
Any day now.
Yeah, I know. We've been waiting a long time here. It doesn't look like we're gonna get that wish, at least.
Yeah, no, Matt, definitely. You're on the money there. Like I like Chris Wokes. I think he's a great understudy option to Ben Stokes. Obviously no disrespect intended to Chris Wokes there, but I would have maybe kept Mark Wood in my team for this game as well. I just think you need scary pace. Like they've got Mitch Stark, and they bowled. They seem to have overbowled him a little bit for my liking, but that's just tough Aussie mentality, right? Suck it up, back up.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say. Well, who they really missed is Geoff Roger. Let's just be honest. Like, if Geoff Roger was in this bowling lineup, I think it would be a different series.
Absolutely.
So they really, really missed him, and they will continue to do so. I think they should bring Mark. I'm not sure what the conditions are in the next match. Where's the next match happening?
It's a G Med. I think it's.
It's the MCG, right? Boxing Day.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd look to see. Bring back Mark Wood. We'll see what the conditions are. But do you think? Okay, let's just go through the scorecard here for a second. So 473 in the first innings. That's actually a solid score.
Just before we scroll down the scoreboard, while we're still at Marnus, can I ask your opinion on something?
Yeah.
We haven't touched on this time, but David Warner, man. So 2 games, 2 near hundreds. What do you reckon's going on with David Warner? Like there seems to be some signs of life for the former undroppable, I would say, opening bat for Australia. He's come a long way since his early days and his like recent struggles. What are your thoughts about how he played this game?
He's playing well. Like he played well in the T20 World Cup. Right, and he's taken that. Seems like he's taken that confidence into this Test series. And again, it's easy for him. It's they're not really making the life of the opening batsman that tough. They're not putting them on the back foot. They look so comfortable out there.
Yeah.
Right. So it's bread and butter for David Warner right now. 95 in the first inning. Okay, he didn't do well in the second innings. That happens. Whatever. But. It's not, and he got in the first Test match. Let's be honest, actually, he got very lucky. He got dropped, etc. No balls, getting out on no balls. Which again, we should talk about. England's fielding hasn't been great. They've given way too many no balls.
I think they've dropped what 8 catches in the first innings here in this game.
Yeah,
like David Warner got lucky in that first Test match, but Marnus got the lion's share of the luck in this Test match.
Steve Smith got lucky in this Test match. Yeah. He was out first ball, dropped.
Innings,
yeah. So, but England's got to take the blame for that. Like you're dropping sitters.
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And why do I have so many no balls happening, right?
Oh my God, mate.
And on wicket taking balls again and again. I'm like, wow, how is that
Yeah,
happening?
the Marnus wicket to Ollie Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a morale burster, it just completely drains you of energy when you put in that much effort. You come back, the next day trying to get this fool out who's basically, mocking you. And um he hits it, he's got 100, he hits it down, it's not a great shot. I think hits it deep into the third man region somewhere. It gets taken. I can't remember now what it was, but it gets taken and okay, on your way. And the next thing you know, it's a no ball. And he comes back with this massive grin. What is that got to do to you as a cricketer, as a captain, as a bowler, as the fielding side?
I
Like
would be
that's got to be like
infuriated.
nails in the coffin kind of frustration.
yeah. I don't know, I'd be
How do
going
you come
crazy.
back? Yeah.
Um, Again, they have nobody but themselves to blame. You shouldn't be giving no balls like this away. This is just standard bread and butter, table stakes. If you want to win, these small, things add up. Look at the Aussies,
Can't.
barely had any no balls. Okay, let me give you the stats here. 25 extras by England the first innings. And let's look at Australia, 7 extras, 1 no ball,
Wow.
and six leg byes. Right, and England 11 no balls, 5 wides, 9 leg byes. Now let's go like second innings, 17 extras for England, and then Australia 9 extras.
Half the amount.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
And you're looking to get big scores in your batting lineup, in your Marnus. You get a let off. You get the probably biggest let off I have ever seen in my entire life. At 95, just as the day is closing, from a wicketkeeper who's had a magnificent first day of the game. Let's try and talk about that Joss Butler catch.
Yeah.
The drop actually.
The drop. Which one? He dropped multiple, right?
The first innings, yeah.
Oh, the sitter that he dropped in the first innings.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, what is up with the ups and downs with Josh Butler? Because he took some. I think he took
Two
two
world-class
world
catches.
class.
Both
Like,
down the leg side, mind you.
no, one was on the
No.
offside, right? Pretty sure.
Was it? The
First
Harris
one.
one was down the legs. The Harris one was down the leg, and then Steve Smith was down the leg.
Oh, okay, because yeah, you're right, because Harris is a left-hander. Right, so he took Harris in the leg side as well. Yeah, which one was, okay, let's just talk about the catches first. Which one was better in your book?
Oh, mate, I think the Marcus Harris one was, I think, just one of the best wicketkeeper catches I've ever seen. I'm a sucker for catches down the leg side by keepers. And Joss Butler was just completely like airborne. There was some Matrix Neo stuff for me. He got to it, one-hander, full stretch dive off the ground, quarter chance, first half an hour. That's amazing, mate. That is just amazing bit of wicket keeping. You gotta take your hat off to that. And I think if I was to sum up England's Ashes campaign thus far, or the England team in Test cricket thus far, it's personified by Joss Butler's performance in the second Test match. In the field, at least.
Yeah, it seems to be because, well, I don't know if England actually got to such highs because, man, those catches are some all-time great catches. I don't think I've seen, such good catches, but I'm sure there's out there in the historical record, but they're up there, these two catches. Especially the Marcus Harris one was amazing. Wow. That had me out of my seat.
I popped. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but then, then he had a lot of let-offs. What do you think that is? Do you think that's just lack of concentration?
I think it's mental, mate. I think it's just the mental game, isn't it? Like the tolls, it's taking a toll. It's the tolls of Test cricket, like you're against the. It seems like they're against the ropes already, mate. Like, I just don't see that energy or that like, come on,
They don't have
like.
that belief. I just don't think they have the belief that
But
they think they can
it's
beat Australia.
but it's weird, isn't it? Don't you find that strange? This is a team that does so well in white ball cricket. They're the World Cup champions, the reigning World Cup champions in 50 over cricket. Did a very good job at the T20 World Cup
Yeah.
recently.
And
And
and Australia just lost to India at home.
yeah,
So that should give you more confidence.
and England almost beat India at home, if we're being honest. It was the series was never completed, which is a huge shame. But
Yeah.
England had
I
a
mean, it was
very good
tied.
series, mate. England had a good series. Let's give them credit for that one against India. There was like
Yeah,
day
at
to
home it's
day.
easier, right? At home it's
Yeah,
easier. I
but
think if we take these two same squads and we teleport them to England, it's going to be a different series.
you think it'll be more even? I
It'll
mean,
be more even. I think Australia will be more competitive than what England are in
mhm.
Australia, but I think it would be where I think it would they would come down to just being like a draw, where they would take maybe 2-2, 1-1 type of series.
Yeah, but you think also it's just the fact that maybe this England team doesn't travel well for test series because we've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
quite a few things, and this team is very good at home. No thanks to everybody else, save for Joe Root and Ben Stokes, maybe, and if Jofra Archer's playing. But I don't know, mate. Like, I'm almost ready to say like they don't travel well, and for whatever reason, we don't know what's going on in the England camp. Maybe it's got a lot to do with bubble fatigue, or I mean, that's obviously taking a toll on a lot of players right now. Maybe it's a combination of things, but they just don't seem up for it, do they? They seem
Yeah, I don't know if
lackluster.
they definitely don't seem up for it, but I don't think you can blame bubble fatigue. Australia has bubble fatigue too,
Yeah,
right? They might even have more because Australia has more stricter lockdowns
yeah.
and stuff and stricter protocols.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can blame bubble fatigue.
Well, I mean, everybody kind of reacts to bubble fatigue differently, right? Like,
Maybe,
it's not
maybe.
the whole team puts
But I'm
up
just saying both
um,
teams are in the same boat when it comes
yeah.
to that. So I mean that just goes to show who's mentally stronger then, right? So you're just
No, for
seeing
sure. I
those
mean,
differences.
there's players who work through the bubble and just do so much traveling and isolating to play in leagues abroad to earn paychecks, and then there's players like Match Marsh who declare bubble fatigue without having gone anywhere, and uh,
Oh, okay, okay. Hold on. Is that a shot at Mitch Marsh? I mean,
no, well,
I need to know.
I'm just playing around with but it did kind of occur to me a little bit funny, but I mean, he shut me up with his heroics at T20 World Cup, so good on you, Mitch Marsh.
Yeah, he was good. It was very
Out
surprising.
of nowhere, mate. Like, yeah. But no, I couldn't resist taking a bit of a friendly sledge there at our friend, um, Mitchell Marsh. Divisive figure. Surprised he hasn't actually made it to this Aussie squad because they could have used him.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, mate. Like, so okay. So while we're talking about the first innings bat stuff here, um, let's just round this off a little bit more. Your thoughts on Marcus Harris opening for Australia? Do you think they're gonna persist with him until the end of the series? Do you think they're gonna draft in somebody else waiting in the wings? And yeah, who do you reckon they could bring in?
I don't know about that. Yeah, he hasn't performed well, obviously, but it's only been two test matches, so I'd keep him in. Who's on the sidelines? I'm not actually sure.
No idea on my end either. But okay, while I look that up, let me just lob another one at you. What are you making of Cameron Green's test series so far?
Cameron Green. He's
Like, we're talking about
been
Mitch Marsh, so
yeah.
my mind obviously goes to
Well,
other all rounders.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been disappointing with the bat. He hasn't done anything with the bat. He's gone very early. I don't think he did anything in this series. That's just in this match. me just double check here. 2 in the first innings, and then 33 in the second innings. Okay, not out. Okay, not so bad. Bit better. But he's been decent with the ball. He's actually gotten Joe Root out a couple of times, so I just keep him just for that. If you can make Joe Root your bunny, I'll just keep you in just for that. And he's been really good in the field, actually. So I'd stick with him. You have a winning squad. You have a winning formula right now, so why change it?
So these are the Aussie and English squads. So this is Australia's like squad for the first 2 test matches, the 15-player squad. So they've got Pat Cummins, Steve Smith, Alex Carey, Cam Green, Marcus Harris, Josh Hazelwood, Travis Head, Usman Khawaja, Marnus, Nathan Lyon, Michael Nieser, Jai Richardson, Mitchell Stark, Mitch Swepson, and Davey Warner. There's no real openers besides.
What about Khawaja? Isn't Khawaja good open? Would he want to? Because he, like, the way
he used to, yeah.
Marnus is batting, he's not getting into the squad.
Yeah, or Travis Head for that matter, because I think lately they've been playing Khawaja at like 5 or something.
Yeah, I mean Travis Head is looking good at 5, so I wouldn't change that. But Khawaja, yeah, I expected more from him. He hasn't. He's been disappointing. In his last few outings.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly.
So let me ask you this: like, so you would maybe try Usman Khawaja because Australia's got a bit of a stranglehold on this series. Like, what could possibly go wrong if you open with Davey Warner and Usman Khawaja? Like, okay, both lefties, so.
Yeah, but I would stick with Harris. I would still give him a chance
because you want to
give
Warner both lefties too, so
yeah,
it's not that much of a loss. I mean, that's got to be the reason why Khawaja is in the team, right?
Yeah, I would just stick with Harris just for, hey, let's give him you want to give players, a bit of a run in the squad to see if it's just initial nerves. Or it takes them a time takes them a bit of time to settle.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe it's just that if he doesn't prove himself, I'll just give him this series essentially. I mean, they're winning handily anyway.
Without their opener getting of their openers getting many runs. Yeah. And quick question on Cam Green. Next game, Cam Green doesn't get runs for the 4th test match. Do you maybe bring in Nieser into the squad as an extra bowler and promote Pat Cummins to one of the bowling all-rounder positions, or do you keep Cam Green on till the end of the series?
I'd keep him on just because he's getting Joe Root out.
Okay. For the Joe Root factor. All right.
Yeah, it seems like he's got Joe Root's number. He knows what to do. Maybe it'll continue to happen. Yeah,
I mean, he's definitely got the wood over Joe Root, man. Like, it's inexplicable, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Yeah, plus he's a young guy. He's developing. He's pretty fast, actually.
He's
which is surprising.
Tall guy, mate. Like he's just, it's such a attribute for a bowler to have that height advantage, especially on Aussie pitches. Like you can do quite a bit with that.
Yeah, I'd keep him in. I think his batting will come around, and it's gonna do more damage to England.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Okay, so I think we've said enough that we could about this match. So let's look forward to the next match, the Boxing Day test.
Okay.
The renowned Boxing Day test. What do you think is going to happen? What does England? Let's start with what does England need to do to get back into the series?
Mate, I don't know. Like the opening partnership just looks so fragile for England right now. Like, do you remember like Haseeb Hamid actually was promoted to opening batsman mid-series against India because Dom Sibley was so out of sorts. So he's not even an opening batsman; he's a makeshift opener. So and now he's already falling behind the pace. Like, I don't know, mate. Like, I kind of feel like he just doesn't know how to leave. He tries to get behind a lot of deliveries and just sometimes, I don't know, like I don't think he knows which balls to leave alone. like I see a lot of English players doing that. In fact, like
It's
Rory
really
Burns,
surprising, right? Because in England, the ball swings a lot. You would think they would develop the instinct to know what one to leave, which ones to leave, and which ones to play.
I guess.
I don't know. That's
And
that's
like
my thinking at least.
even like Josh Butler and Ben Stokes, mate. Like I hate to bring this up, but like one of the this we're trying to move on, but I hate coming back to like England's like shortcomings. But it's just when you ask me what would you change for the next test match, I'm tempted to say like just do what India did, in
Just get
Australia,
rid of
bring
the
in a
entire
third
squad.
bring in a third string teammate. Like what damage could it do? Because it seems like
But yeah,
beginner's luck is helping Australia. Like Nieser and Richardson, Jai Richardson got a fifer. Like I know it's not his first Test match, but that's impressive.
sometimes that can work because you bring in what tends to happen in sports. Sometimes you have these mental scars from
That's
getting
right.
destroyed by the other team.
Mm-hmm.
So when you bring in a whole set new batch of players, they've never been dismantled
Yeah,
yet, so they don't have that same mental you know
yeah.
um,
The the
the,
memories of
yeah, those
being
mental
beat.
memories aren't
Yeah,
there, so they can play a bit more freely. They have that confidence still. It seems like this England squad doesn't have that confidence somehow.
I don't see any confidence, mate. Like, we talked about Rory Burns last time with his footwork. He just seems like he's crossing himself up way too much. Like he doesn't know what direction to point sometimes when he's facing the bowler. Um,
Yeah.
David Milan and Joe Root can put on runs together, so I won't I won't bash them too much. Like Milan played pretty well from when he gets going. Actually the time him and Joe Root were getting runs and closer to the 100 was actually the best time to watch the Test match because it felt like the game was coming alive and might become a contest. But second innings, I mean, man, Ben Stokes playing spin, going back into his crease, like
Mm.
every delivery, was kind of tough to watch,
Yeah.
knowing what he
It
can do. Yeah,
he just again, I think tactically they got it wrong. I just didn't see him surviving. He got through 77 balls, scored 12 runs.
oh, and he
Not
got
good
dismissed
enough.
by Lyon. Yeah,
Yeah, not good enough. You're not going to survive forever playing that way. Yeah, there's a ball that's got your name written all over it.
yeah,
So for me, what I would have done, again, this is easier said than done, obviously, but I think Ben Stokes has the talent to pull this off. Is take the blueprint that Australia established with spinners, hit line out of the lineup, basically,
yeah.
right? Um,
Just punt him.
yeah,
Rishabh Pant.
go
Rishabh
after
Pant.
him. Get in his head, make the Aussies make a change so that he can't be bowling 48 overs an innings, right?
Mate, because like that actually works against Nathan Lyon. Because one thing we know, like he's very good when he's on top. Like he's a very calm, even tempered guy. Like when he's on top, he just lands the ball in that zone you don't want. He reads you. If you're uncomfortable with something, he'll get it right there. He does good setups. But one thing I've noticed about Nathan Lyon is he's terrible when the pressure is on. We saw it at Headingley. He dropped a big run out chance, and I saw him get what we called the scared eyes when Rishabh Pant tucked into him in Australia.
Yeah.
Because I have never seen him look that,
You know,
beat.
we're always on the lookout for scared eyes over here, and definitely England has a pair of them, if not more, at this stage, which is why
12
they're
pairs of
losing,
them, mate. Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. I mean, even Joss, mate. Like we're talking about footwork and balls to leave. Joss Butler. Oh gosh, mate. Mate, start coming around the wicket to Joss Butler in the first half an hour. I'm very surprised he survived for that many deliveries. What?
To
How
me,
many? 207 deliveries.
that's a lot. That's a lot, but uh, not enough, I guess. To me, it's England is not passing the eye test at this stage, right? If I just walk in randomly during this test match and I watch England play, not knowing what's happening in the series,
Yeah.
they don't look comfortable. They don't look in command either with ball or bat.
Mhm.
And the opposite is true for Australia. I just walk in and if I watch like Marnus playing or whoever, right?
Yeah.
They look comfortable, which is why they're losing, or which is why they're winning,
Yeah. Yeah. I
right?
mean, I I think it's the same thing. I think England maybe just isn't playing their natural game a little bit. They're under their shells, and it's not looking good, mate. It's I'm not looking forward to the Boxing Day test, even though I will watch it. It goes without saying.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm um, I'm dreading. I'm dreading watching what's going to happen on the rest to the on Boxing Day and the rest of the series, because I do
yeah.
not want to see an Aussie whitewash. I really don't want to see it
It's
because
just not good. It's just not great advertisement for the game, right? We want to see a bit of competition here. Maybe we'll be proved wrong, and England will. Well, let's hope that Joe Root can play first of all. If Joe Root doesn't even make it out there because he did get injured,
oh
uh,
my god, yeah,
right? So we
oh
didn't
my
even mention
god,
that. Yeah,
Jesus.
if anybody doesn't know, he during warm up, what actually ended up happening, I don't know if you know this, what ended up happening, he was not wearing a cup. And he got hit in the groin, right? And apparently you can't say groin on TV for whatever reason.
But we hold no such reservations. This podcast is off the
Yeah,
cuff, and
yeah, I'll
we'll
say it
try to
all
be
day
as
long.
brutally
Um,
honest as possible.
yeah, I mean, that's where you got hit, and that does happen. That's why you wear a cup. And I think he didn't, apparently they were saying because he was just facing spinners.
No,
Um,
man, he was just doing range hitting, I think, of some kind. So they were just lobbing up balls at him, and I think I'd imagine one way to get hit is probably an inside edge, because if somebody's just lobbing balls up to you or doing
yeah,
throwdowns, you're probably not going to get hit that badly. But very strange incident, and then
yeah, and then he got hit in the actual match as well,
yeah,
right?
at 140K mid start delivery on length, bounced up right in the baby maker.
Yep, and yeah, hopefully he'll be fine and he gets
Ouch.
4 days off, 5 days off.
Mm.
So hopefully he'll come back and be at full strength. Because yeah, England definitely need him. If he doesn't play, there's just no chance for them to win at all.
So I'm looking at England's squad, mate, for the rest of the series, the squad they brought over. Um, your England, do you make any changes here? You've got Root,
Yeah, I
Butler,
mean,
James Anderson, Johnny Bairstow, Dom Bess, Stuart Broad, Rory Burns, Zach Crowley, Seba Mead, Dan Lawrence, Jack Leach, Milan, Craig Overton, Ollie Pope, Ollie Robinson, Ben Stokes, Chris Wokes, and Mark Wood.
yeah, it's definitely tough. I'd probably I'd bring in Mark Wood
Okay.
for sure. Now their opening partnership isn't working, but I don't see either Crawley or what's his name
Johnny
doing.
Bairstow.
Not Bairstow.
Oh,
Uh,
Dan Lawrence.
no, not Lawrence. The other guy.
Rory Burns, Zach Crowley. Overton? No.
Anyway, I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's not good enough. Um, I just don't see who they bring in that's going to have any chance against this Aussie lineup.
They just have Johnny Bairstow, Zach Crowley, Dan Lawrence in reserve. Like, there's no other batsman, like a full batsman in here. So
Yeah,
it's definitely slim pickings, mate.
but maybe it's worth a shot. They haven't gone up against this bowling lineup. Throw them in there, see what happens, because
Yeah.
his current opening partnership isn't working.
So would you change both, or would you just bring in like one guy? One
Yeah, it's a
change?
tough one. That's a tough one. I don't think there is a correct answer here. I don't think they're gonna do well at
I'd
this
say
stage.
maybe Rory Burns could take a break for the G, and uh maybe I'd throw Zach Crowley in there.
Yeah, I think it totally depends on how good they're looking in practice. If they're looking
Yeah,
good in
yeah,
practice, throw them in there, see what happens.
yeah.
Maybe you get lucky. but from just looking at what I've seen from these guys in the past,
Yeah.
I don't see how they can perform. Maybe, hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, definitely, mate. Like, this was supposed to be their best chance of winning a game, and it did. It was not. It did
Yeah,
not
did
turn out
not
that
pan
way.
out. Would you put back a spinner? Would you bring a spinner back in?
At the G, look, I would always keep a full-time spinner in my test squad, mate. No ifs, ands, or
Yeah,
buts about it. Because some of these venues, you say, oh, it's a turning venue. Its spin comes into play at day 3 or whatever, day 4. You just sometimes it happens sooner than you expect. Like, look at Nathan Lyon. First test, nothing happened day 1, nothing happened day 2, and we're all sitting here thinking, okay, maybe Lionel's past that. But then he comes back with a massive haul of wickets in the fourth on day 4, and before you know, he's ended the game
well, he only took 2 wickets
in
on
the
day four.
first in the first in the
The
first game.
second, oh, the first game, okay. You meant like this game that just happened.
Yeah, when he got his 400th, remember he was struggling until he was on 399, and then he got the 400th.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
kind of ran through England in the second innings.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know, mate. Like, I definitely don't think Jack Leach is on the same level as Nathan Lyon.
No.
But again, who do England have? They've got him. They've got Dom Bess. I see Dom Bess more as a batsman than a spinner, frankly. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you got to put Leach back in, but you know what the Dodgers are going to do? They're going to just play the same tactic, and if you haven't, if you don't have an answer for that, then it kind of defeats the point of having a spinner. If your spinner can't bowl a lot of overs because he's too expensive, then he's a waste of wasted in the lineup.
Let me ask you something. Now we're covering hypothetical squad members of the England squad with Moeen Ali. Do you feel Adil Rashid could have been an option that England could have gone with? Do you think he's unfortunate not to get more Test match playing time under his belt?
Yeah, he's decent, I would say, right?
You like him?
I don't know his stats off the top of my head. Let me check it out here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, I just pulled up Rashid Khan. Nope, he can't play for England. Not right now, at least.
You bet
Test
England are
match.
looking into it.
Yeah, they might be.
Just to
Okay,
dump
it's
that.
not. Yeah, he hasn't done too well. He's got an average of 40.
How many Test matches does he
34
have?
innings, 19 matches, 34 innings. Actually, wait, this is bowling stats. This is bowling stats. So yeah, it's not
Yikes.
that great. 3.75 economy rate. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I would have
Yikes.
expected him to be better. Let's look at his ODI record. Yeah, not that great.
Hmm.
Maybe that's why he's not in there.
Yeah.
Yep, sorry, England. We tried.
Yeah, they've got no options. At this point, I don't know who else they could have taken. Like, I don't think Matt Parkinson's quite ready for the test job, even though Shane Warne was harping about getting him into the Ashes squad. But now that I think of it, I mean, could it have been any worse than taking Dom Bess? What do you have to lose?
Yeah, you throw them back. You throw a spinner back in. They've got to perform, otherwise you don't really have a choice. You're gonna burn out your quicks. So
Yeah.
and it seems like Joe Root, who would bowl some spin, if he's injured also, he can't bowl either. I guess, I mean, we didn't talk about this. It's
I
kind
know
of left
exactly
field.
what you're gonna say. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Ollie Robinson apparently had a rabbit of his hat. We didn't know that he can bowl spin, and it just came out of nowhere and took everybody by surprise. Which is, a funny little moment in the match.
Mate, I woke up and I thought like England's minds were like just gone because I woke up. I fall asleep watching the Ashes often, which is not to say it's boring. It's just the time difference we have. And I woke up and I see Ollie Robinson coming round the wicket, bowling high loopy off spinners with sunglasses on. And I swear I thought I was in the upside down or something. I was like, what is going on? And I didn't know the context because went back to sleep because, it didn't make a difference to the score. It's not until the next day I found out that Joe Root was off having treatment or actually didn't take to the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think as that as an alternative option where you just get Ollie Robinson to both spin for you?
I mean, might as well give Ollie Pope the ball at that point. Never mind Ollie Robinson. I don't know, mate. Like, I think there's a slight tinge of damage limitation and desperation in that move for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Apparently, he's done
believe.
this in first class cricket too.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah. So it's not totally out of the blue,
Okay.
but yeah, he didn't look. He didn't obviously look like a proper spinner. Let's just say he looked like
Well,
a
I mean, he was in
part-timer.
character. He was in character.
Yeah, I know. It's like
But
might as well have a bit of fun while we're getting destroyed.
crikey, yeah. Oh, you gotta have fun in these games, mate. Like England, just at the moment, they just don't look like they're having fun. And sport should be about fun and not all about contest because you can only take you so far with that attitude. You need to enjoy your game as well.
Yeah, no,
Player shots,
they're not. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not having fun right now.
So yeah,
Okay.
looking forward to the G nonetheless, mate. Looking forward to the big Boxing Day game. Fingers crossed, but you know,
Yeah.
not having as one great Aussie said at some point in time, no expectations, no disappointments.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to end this. You know, hopefully England has a fight in them. They're gonna come back, give us a series to watch. If not, the Ashes is still something to look forward to. I still enjoy watching these matches, like Test cricket. It just hits my buttons.
But also just before we sign off, we just like you guys to know that we're also going to be working as best we can on the India South Africa series down in South Africa,
Yeah.
which will definitely help us keep the sadness at bay from
Yeah.
the England
Hopefully
series.
it'll be more competitive than this shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to that, and I can almost tell it's going to be intensely entertaining series. Not least because of the off-field drama that's going on in the India camp, but
Yeah, a bit of
also what's going
spiciness
to
there.
happen. Oh, I'm going to love it.
I love a bit of debate and TMZ type of affair.
Mate, there's so much going on. For those of you guys who aren't sure what we're talking about, just have a read through about the India camp in South Africa, and you'll see a bunch of TMZ style stuff going on. Very dramatic, very telenovela style stuff happening. And honestly, mate, like I'm actually really looking forward to December 26th to see that game start. It's gonna be I am sincerely hoping it's a good one. I actually have some expectations of that, so hopefully I won't be disappointed.
Well, there's a lot of good cricket to look forward to. It's a great way to close off the year. Can't believe 2021 is almost beyond us or behind us. And let's see what happens.
Cool.
All right, thanks, folks. It was fun. Catch you later.
JP, good talking with you, mate. All our listeners, guys, take care out there. Have a good farewell to the year, and we'll catch back up with you guys shortly.
Yeah, see you guys.